What if I told you that the life you're living right now isn't real, but just one of the infinite possible simulations, and that you can switch it at any moment without having to wait for anything or anyone? This isn't science fiction. It's what quantum physics has already proven. And maybe this is the most dangerous truth you've ever heard. At this very moment, there are countless versions of you living different destinies. And with every thought, you choose which one you'll experience. What no one has told you is that the path to the future you desire doesn't require effort, sweat, and struggle, but an invisible adjustment. The vibrational frequency you maintain. It's as if you were stuck watching a movie you don't like, but holding tight to the remote control tuned to the wrong channel. And the most tragic part? Most people never change the channel and still think they have no choice. Today, I'm going to show you how to reprogram your subconscious mind so the universe is forced to respond exactly on the frequency you want. A fine-tuned adjustment that collapses your desired reality right before your eyes. It's not about waiting, it's about activating, right now, the timeline jump that connects you to your most abundant self. And once that happens, you will never see life the same way again. Most people believe that creating the life of their dreams requires continuous effort, years of hard work, and a bit of luck. But what if I told you that this is exactly the trap that keeps so many people stuck in the same place? What I'm about to show you challenges what you've learned about success and change, because it's not about running faster. It's about learning to change the field you're playing in. Have you ever stopped to think that, on a quantum level, reality isn't fixed? There are infinite versions of your future happening right now, and what determines which one you live isn't chance. It's the vibrational frequency you sustain every day. And the most surprising part, changing your frequency doesn't have to be hard. In fact, it can happen in seconds if you know how to activate the right trigger in your subconscious mind. In this video, I'm going to guide you to understand how to realign your energetic field so precisely that you not only manifest faster, but also keep what you create. I'll reveal how simple yet powerful experiences can trigger timeline jumps and collapse the reality you want. And if you stay with me until the end, you'll discover the technique that turns desire into certainty, and certainty into inevitable results. Have you ever noticed how a simple adjustment on the radio completely changes what you hear? Tuning into your desired future works exactly the same way. Quantum manifestation doesn't require exhausting effort. It's about fine-tuning your vibrational frequency to receive the reality you want to live. It's as if your energetic field were a powerful antenna, and every thought or emotion was a small shift on the dial. Once you understand this, you realize that nothing happens by chance. Even coincidences carry messages. Many people live like they're trying to hear their favorite song but insist on leaving the radio on the wrong station. They believe in the law of attraction, but don't notice that their subconscious mind is programmed to a different frequency. This internal programming creates a self-image that keeps them locked into old patterns, blocking the timeline jump that would bring their reality shift. And just like with a radio, small tuning changes completely alter what reaches you. I went through this myself. Years ago, I wanted to attract abundance and opportunities, but nothing seemed to change. Even while talking about prosperity, my emotions were still vibrating scarcity. It was like trying to collapse reality with one foot in the future and the other stuck in the past. Only when I began consistently reprogramming my mind and raising my vibration did the signs start appearing. Coincidences, invitations, open doors. The most fascinating part is that this energetic alignment doesn't depend on the external world changing first. It's the opposite. You change inside, and the universe responds. It's like adjusting an internal thermostat. You first set the temperature you want to feel, and only then does the environment begin to match. This is where the energy of worthiness comes in. When you see yourself as deserving of what you want, that new self-image begins to shape every action and decision. Imagine your body as a massive transmitter. Every day, consciously or not, you send signals to the energetic field that surrounds everything and everyone. These signals are your beliefs, emotions, and expectations. The universe, like a perfect echo, returns situations that match what you've sent out. That's why for some people opportunities seem to fall from the sky, while others spend years struggling without progress. Tuning into your desired future starts with being fully aware of what you feel right now. There's no point repeating affirmations if your body is vibrating doubt or fear. The subconscious mind takes emotion as truth, regardless of words. That's why when practicing manifestation techniques, the most important thing is to internally generate the emotional state of someone who's already living the desired identity shift. A powerful exercise is to observe your inner dialogue throughout the day. Ask yourself, what am I broadcasting right now? The answer often reveals why certain results keep repeating. It's like spotting interference in the signal before you can hear the music clearly. I remember a time when, without realizing it, I spent weeks radiating a vibration of pressure and anxiety for results. That energy pushed away exactly what I wanted to attract. When I finally let go and trusted the universe, what I'd been waiting for arrived in less than 3 days, and it was better than I'd imagined. Letting go and receiving works like a catalyst for transformation. And don't confuse tuning with passivity. Being tuned in means being ready to act at the right moment. It's like a surfer waiting for the perfect wave. They don't create the wave, but they're prepared to ride it as soon as it appears. When you're aligned with your energetic field, the right opportunities stand out from the noise, and your response is fast and natural. You can start right now with a simple exercise. Choose a moment in your day to imagine, in full detail, what it's like to live your desired future. Feel the emotions, see the images, hear the sounds, and most importantly, allow your body to believe it's already part of your reality. This practice creates a neural shortcut to elevated vibration, bringing you closer to your timeline jump. It's not about fighting against your current reality. It's about creating internally the vibration of the reality you want. This rewires your internal programming and, as a result, transforms your outer life. When this becomes a habit, you begin collapsing the right reality almost automatically. So if this content is already helping you understand how to align with your desired future, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can keep deepening your practice without missing a beat. And since we're talking about tuning, in the next section we'll dive into the subconscious mind and uncover how it silently chooses your reality every single day and how you can take control of that process. Have you ever stopped to think that, while you're here listening to me, there's a part of your mind making decisions for you without asking permission and without making a sound? That part is the subconscious mind, and it works like an autopilot that decides far more about your life than you might imagine. It's the one that keeps old patterns running, even when you consciously want to change. It's as if it's programmed to keep playing the same radio station, even though you want to hear a different song. The interesting thing is, this internal programming isn't bad or stubborn. It's simply following the instructions it's received throughout your life. Impactful experiences, inherited beliefs, phrases you've heard since childhood. All of that has shaped a self-image and a set of truths that now drive your vibrational frequency. And that frequency is what connects you to a specific type of reality, reinforcing the law of attraction automatically. I remember a period when I deeply wanted a reality shift, but something kept pulling me back to the same results. That's when I realized that, no matter how hard I tried consciously, my subconscious mind was still tuned to an energetic field of scarcity. It was like trying to run with an elastic band around my waist. Every step forward was followed by a pull backward. What most people don't realize is that the subconscious mind doesn't work with logic or reason. It works with emotion and repetition. That's why just thinking positively isn't enough. You need to reprogram your mind to feel and believe differently. It's repeated emotion that imprints new codes and triggers a timeline jump. Without that, you might change temporarily, but you'll quickly revert to the old pattern. A good example is to imagine your mind as a garden. The seeds are your beliefs, and emotions are the water and sunlight that feed them. If you keep watering the wrong seeds, you'll keep harvesting the same fruit. That's why reprogramming your mind is like pulling out weeds and planting new seeds aligned with the elevated vibration you want to live in. Your subconscious also acts as a filter. It decides what you notice and what you ignore so that the world around you matches what you believe to be true. This explains why, when you believe something is difficult, it feels like the universe keeps sending you proof of it every day. It's that familiar, "I knew this would happen." But in reality, it's just the reflection of your current energetic alignment. And there's something even deeper. The subconscious mind is in constant communication with the energetic field around us. It's like a transmitter and receiver at the same time. When you maintain an elevated vibration and the energy of worthiness, This station sends out clear signals to the universe and begins receiving circumstances and opportunities that match that state. Once, after weeks of practicing manifestation techniques before bed, I woke up with the sense that something had shifted. In the days that followed, I received invitations and offers that seemed to come out of nowhere. It wasn't magic, it was internal programming tuned to attract abundance, and the universe responded on the same frequency. The challenge is that, without awareness, you live as a passenger, letting your subconscious choose the destination. It's like a GPS you haven't updated. It keeps taking you along the old route, even though there's a faster one available. When you take the wheel and reprogram this mind, you begin to direct the signal you send and, in turn, what you receive. If you want to start shifting this, try a simple daily practice. When you wake up, before you even touch your phone, close your eyes and ask yourself, which version of me do I want to live today? Imagine that version, feel the energy, see the scenes. This simple exercise already begins to realign your energetic field and shape your internal programming so it works for you. This is the foundation for the next step, creating such a strong connection between you and your desired future that, in the eyes of quantum physics, that reality already exists. It's simply waiting for you to access it. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next. Have you ever felt that a dream seems so real that, for a few moments, you forgot it was just imagination? That's a glimpse of what happens when you create an energetic bond with your desired future. The difference is that, in the case of quantum manifestation, this bond isn't temporary. It becomes a constant energetic alignment capable of keeping your vibration high until reality shapes itself to reflect it. Think about when you meet someone you deeply love and feel that instant connection. You may even be physically apart, yet there's still an invisible thread linking you. That's exactly how it works with the future you want to live. The more you nurture this connection, the stronger it becomes until it's impossible to ignore. This bond isn't created through thoughts alone, but through true emotion. The subconscious mind needs to feel what it's like to live that reality in order to accept it as part of your identity. And when the identity shift happens, it's as if the timeline jump becomes inevitable. You stop wanting and start being. And the universe responds to who you are, not what you wish for. I remember when I decided to completely change my professional field. Instead of waiting for opportunities to show up so I could feel confident, I started acting as if I was already the person who had achieved that result. I adjusted my self-image, the way I spoke, even the way I dressed. And within a few weeks, situations appeared that had once seemed unlikely. Here's a practical example for you to apply. Choose a moment in your day to visualize your desired future as if you were remembering something that had already happened. Smell the scents, hear the sounds, notice the sensations in your body. The more details you add, the more your subconscious mind accepts this experience as real, reinforcing the energetic field that attracts abundance. And this isn't about forcing optimism. It's about creating coherence between what you think, feel, and do. When these three elements are in sync, your vibrational frequency changes. And it's as if you were sending a clear signal to the universe saying, I'm ready to receive. It's the famous letting go and receiving, but with purpose and consistency. Imagine your life as an old radio. Before, you would turn the knob and get a lot of static until for a few seconds you'd catch a beautiful song. Creating an unbreakable bond with your desired future is like finding the perfect station and keeping it tuned all the time. No matter what's going on around you, you keep that frequency. Over time, this bond becomes so strong it starts creating synchronicities. People show up, ideas emerge, paths open. It's not coincidence. It's the direct result of collapsing your desired reality into your energetic field. And once you've experienced this connection, it's impossible to go back, because you already recognize yourself as part of that new life. The most amazing thing is that when you live in this state, fear and doubt lose their grip. You stop asking, what if it doesn't work out? And start wondering, how is it going to happen this time? This inner shift is what keeps your vibration high, even in the face of challenges, and ensures you keep attracting what aligns with your energy of worthiness. And here's something many people overlook. This bond doesn't depend on linear time. Your desired future already exists in potential in the quantum field, and what you're doing is simply building a conscious bridge to it. It's as if you were connecting two points that have always been linked, but that you'd never noticed before. That's why, when we talk about reality shifting, we're not talking about creating something from scratch, but about consciously choosing which version of yourself you want to live. And that choice, made with clarity and emotion, is what opens the way for the next step. How to sustain this connection when the world around you seems to try to pull you back to the old. And that's exactly what we're going to dive into next. Have you ever noticed how, after deciding to change your life, it seems like everything starts conspiring to test you? It's as if the universe wants to make sure you're truly ready to sustain the new vibrational frequency. And this is where many lose their energetic alignment, slipping back into old patterns without even realizing it. The truth is, keeping in tune requires more than initial enthusiasm. It's a daily commitment to your new identity. Imagine your subconscious mind as a garden. In the beginning, you plant seeds of abundance, confidence, and worthiness. But if you stop watering and tending it, the weeds, old habits, and limiting beliefs will take up space again. This is exactly what happens when you stop feeding your energetic field with emotions and thoughts that match the reality you want to collapse. I've been through this myself. After manifesting an important goal, I relaxed, thinking I had arrived. Not long after, I began to notice signs of regression. Fewer opportunities, lower vibration, and a feeling of stagnation. That's when I realized that the law of attraction is not a one-time event, but an ongoing state of alignment. To sustain that elevated vibration, you need to create daily anchors. They can be simple. A song that connects you to the feeling of your desired future, a conscious breathing exercise upon waking, or even a reminder on your phone with phrases that reinforce your self-image. These small actions are like recalibrating the frequency of your internal radio, keeping it tuned at all times. Another crucial point is protecting your energy. If you spend too much time in environments or with people who live in a scarcity frequency, your energetic field will naturally be affected. This doesn't mean isolating yourself, it means setting clear boundaries. It's like keeping a flame lit in a windy place. You can be outdoors, but you'll shield the candle with your hands so it doesn't go out. And remember, distractions don't just come from the outside. Many times, sabotage happens internally when thoughts of doubt begin to take up space. That's when you need to practice letting go and receiving, trusting the universe and reminding yourself that the result is already guaranteed in the quantum field, even if it hasn't yet physically materialized. A powerful technique for this is the energetic check-in. Several times a day, ask yourself, is my vibration right now aligned with the future I want to live? If the answer is no, make a small adjustment. It could be a thought of gratitude, a quick visualization, or even a pause to feel your breath. Frequent small corrections are more effective than occasional big efforts. I like to think of it as flying a plane. During the flight, the pilot makes micro-adjustments constantly to stay on course, even when there's turbulence. The same applies to your reality shift. You don't need to avoid every deviation. Just make sure that overall you're still heading in the right direction. When you maintain this consistency, you start to notice something interesting. Challenges stop being obstacles and become triggers to further strengthen your energetic alignment. Each test becomes an opportunity to prove to yourself that your identity shift is real and unshakable. And the most magical part is that the longer you sustain that elevated vibration, the more natural it becomes. It's no longer a conscious effort, but a state of being. That's when you realize you're not just trying to attract abundance. You have become abundance itself. And it's exactly at this point that life begins to respond with synchronicities, opportunities, and unexpected transformations. But there's one last element that makes this tuning truly unbeatable. Learning to act in an inspired and strategic way, knowing when to move forward and when to simply stay present, allowing the universe to do its part. That's exactly what we'll explore in the next step. You know that moment when everything seems to fall into place almost magically? It's not a coincidence. It's the turning point, when your elevated vibration meets the perfect opportunity. But this only happens when you learn to act from inspiration, not just out of obligation. Many people think quantum manifestation is just about visualizing and waiting, but the truth is, it requires a constant dialogue between you and the universe. Acting from inspiration is like surfing a wave. You don't create the wave, but you sense when it's coming and position yourself to ride it. In the energetic field, these waves are the impulses, ideas, and synchronicities that arise when your subconscious mind is aligned with the future you desire. It's that unexpected phone call, a conversation that opens doors, or even a sudden insight into something you've been trying to solve for months. The most common mistake is acting from anxiety, trying to force results. This creates resistance and blocks the flow of the law of attraction because your focus is on lack, not abundance. Inspired action, on the other hand, comes from a state of trust in the universe, from letting go and receiving. It's making decisions because you feel it's the right step, not because you're afraid of missing out. I remember when I was working on a project that just wouldn't move forward. Instead of insisting on strategies that weren't working, I started doing a daily visualization exercise before bed, feeling as if the result were already real. Not long after, I received a message from someone I hadn't spoken to in years, offering exactly the resource I needed. It wasn't bad luck or coincidence. It was energetic alignment finding the right moment to act. To identify inspired actions, pay attention to how you feel when you think about taking them. If the feeling is light and exciting, even with a bit of nervousness, that's a good sign. But if it's fear, pressure, or excessive urgency, it's probably not the right path right now. It's like walking down a lit hallway. The right doors seem to open on their own, while others require you to force the lock. Another important point is not to confuse inspired action with lack of action. Many times, doing nothing is the inspired action because it's the moment to allow the quantum field to rearrange the pieces. Conscious patience is a rare but extremely powerful skill. Imagine planting a seed and digging it up every day to see if it sprouted. That only delays the process. A good practice is to ask yourself daily, what would my future self do today? This simple question activates your identity shift and aligns your internal programming with the timeline leap you desire. And surprisingly, the answers come quickly. It might be making a phone call, changing something in your environment, or starting a new habit that sustains your elevated vibration. When you begin to act this way, you create a virtuous cycle. Every step you take reinforces your new self-image, and that self-image sends increasingly stronger signals to the energetic field, attracting abundance consistently. It's a game of positive feedback between thought, emotion, and action. At the turning point, you realize you're no longer just chasing goals, they begin moving toward you. It's as if time folds, and what once seemed distant suddenly becomes inevitable. This is the true collapsing of reality. When vision and experience merge, and you live in the present what was once only in the future. And the most fascinating part is that, from this point on, you never go back to what you were before. Manifestation stops being an event and becomes a way of living. You become a conscious creator, continuously shaping your reality. But there is one final key to lock all of this in and ensure this transformation isn't temporary. And that's exactly what we'll talk about next. Now that you understand how your subconscious mind, your vibrational frequency, and your energetic alignment shape the life you live, the question is, what are you going to do with it? Will you keep repeating the same patterns and reinforcing the old self-image? Or will you decide today to reprogram your mind and collapse the reality you desire? The choice is yours, but every day that passes you are already manifesting. You just need to decide what you are manifesting. Pause for a moment and reflect. What future are you entangling right now? Is it one where you attract abundance, live in a high vibration, and trust the universe, or one where you still carry the same limiting beliefs? Be honest with yourself because the key to your timeline jump is in that answer. If this content lit something inside you, if it made you realize that there is a more conscious way to create your life, then continue this journey with me. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next content, because each video will go even deeper into your quantum manifestation power. And in the next one, I'm going to show you how to consolidate your energy of worthiness so that nothing and no one can take away what is rightfully yours.